Alright, good afternoon everybody. We have successfully recruited back to almost full strength. We are up to 26 members. After Soto and Hotlongs were able to hold off the Holy Nation on 2 separate attacks, with just the 2 of them, we knew we had to rebuild. They had planned to go out in a blaze of glory, defying their enemies to the end, but quickly became apparent that the Holy Nation was simply no match for anyone who was well armed and willing to fight. So we've recruited up to our 26 people. We plan to continue to recruit. We've armed and armored them with equipment we've made ourselves. It became pretty apparent earlier in the playthrough that it's not nearly as bad getting armor and crossbows crafted at home as I had originally thought. We're also crafting Edge 1 katanas right now. At least we're trying to. Have we started that yet? I don't think we've produced a single one yet. We're working on our first one. Nope, there it is. So she has it on her. Shrike is up to producing Edge 1 weapons. That's about as high as we're going to get it for now. We did stick with the samurai armor and samurai leg plates. We are doing crab helmets because this will effectively be enough to stop the acid from burning us. We might take some damage, but it'll be mitigated enough that we should be fine. If I find that we need the chest pieces, we'll look back, but it also gives us kind of a cool samurai aesthetic. I'm not hating this at all. I might be a total dork for that, but I'm not hating it. We've fought off the Holy Nation every time they came. They do seem to be a little broken. They kind of fail to charge the door until we start shooting them, and then they just get riddled with turrets. So it's not really like we're accomplishing anything all that impressive. They seem to be not functioning correctly. But as far as the story's concerned, and the legends will tell, it was a horrible onslaught that we fought back. We've got a lot of crafting done. We've got so many materials we don't even know what to do with. We're full up on cloth, and the only person really putting that to use, that's going to be Shrike. She's going to be using it to craft her weapons. We should start to see some of those pile up. And it looks like she put her weapon, her crossbow away. I'm kind of surprised she's putting that away, but she's probably doing that instead of just emptying her main weapon. But as soon as she gets those Edge 1 weapons, everyone will be armed to the teeth. You know, we're wearing high grade or better. Most of it's masterwork. We started stealing the high grade chain shirts from the Holy Nation when they attack. Their high paladins and their inquisitors have standard and high grade quality chain shirts. So we're slowly filling that in over time. We've got them armed. We have plenty of ammo. We just haven't really started passing that out yet because we're not going to leave here just yet till everyone at least has the good equipment they need. We're not going to make that same mistake again, though. We're not going to think that this equipment will make us able to take on the world. We may leave the base and go out to find some good fights so that we can really test ourselves and improve our skills. But we're not going to go do anything as dangerous as the Bugmaster anytime soon. Once we get our last few recruits, I am going to set up a sort of training camp that will allow them to dramatically increase their strength so that they're not over encumbered just wearing their armor and carrying their equipment. We're going to eventually look at maybe trying heavy weapons on some of our characters, do a little bit more mixed tactics rather than just always using crossbows. And we're going to look at producing Old World Mark II and Eagle's Cross bows and seeing how realistic that is using those without having to constantly micro everybody. Because that's the only downside, is if you use, the stronger the bow you use, the more you're going to have to micro every single person on your team. And that's not fun. I kind of want them to do their own fighting. I really do think eventually the end game is to get away from crossbows and switch to heavy weapons. This leverages the attack slots that the default game has a little differently. Whenever you go to swing an AoE attack, I don't think it's quite like the beak things, but it could be, where when you do a wide sweep, anyone but your main target can't block it. That may or may not be the case with our attacks, but it will certainly give us a chance to do these wide sweeps. And when you're dealing with animals specifically, those kinds of weapons are way more effective. The other option would be pole arms. I plan on doing a lot of different playthroughs with a lot of different strategies, although most of them will revolve around making sure we're well equipped. I really prefer that. I don't like going out there with bad equipment because your limbs pop off. They pop off like you're made of Legos. It's ridiculous. So I like having good equipment. That's just something I enjoy. I like sending them into the field ready. And then that equipment gives them a boost so that they can get their experience without dying. But we'll try some low equipment or some other strategies for other playthroughs. But right now our main concern is getting our armor and weapons ready, and then we're going to have Hotlongs go finish recruiting. Benji, why are you starving to death? This always happens. Somebody's got a full inventory and goes to get food. I really wish they would ditch inventory anytime they need food and can't grab. That would be a thing. Maybe that's a mod someone could make. If they would just ditch their inventory, any resources they have when they need food, I think it would make a big difference. Okay, so we're short 2 helmets. That's what I thought. Spade. Let's make 2 crab helmets without repeating. And then we'll get her just crafting out armor again. Hotlongs, we're going to... She's out here also buying backpacks. We really need to get a lot of backpacks, and they're not something that's readily available to craft. Pretty much have to purchase them. But there's not very many. I'm probably going to have her run back and forth. It was nice when we had Beep. Beep was augmented to the point that he could run so fast that he could go and get anything we wanted anytime we wanted it. And I'm definitely missing having that. But it's not the kind of thing you could see a lot of Sheks doing, just lopping their limbs off on purpose to be augmented, but we'll see where we go down the road. Right now, we're not finding many recruits here. We could try the swamp, but I have a feeling that we're going to run into no Shek and mostly hivers. We might run into some humans though. We'd be okay with taking some humans, but hivers, they fall apart. They are made of Legos, and we want everyone we have to be able to fight. I would prefer Sheks. I've done some playthroughs where all I use are Shek, and while food can become annoying and it takes longer to get your crafters ready, it's just incredible how durable they are. It's like they don't have penalties to the crafting. The only thing they have penalties to is dexterity, which can be overcome over time, but hopefully we'll find either some Shek or humans and have a fairly balanced group. But I really don't think we want any more bugmen that are gonna have their chest caved in every time they get hit. Okay, what do we have here? We got Hammett, human, Masaru, the bug boy, lots of women, a shack, I'll be damned. We made a strong ally, huh? What do you got, Moo? How strong are you, or not strong? You are not strong. You have 1 toughness, my dude. You have never even been tried. What a joke. Alright. Let's move Hotlongs down to recruits with Moo. Medics, stay together. Let's see, we can have 3 more. Stubbs, are you ready to be recruited? He's got mental sword skills, huh? Let's crack some skulls. You also have 1 toughness. I would just wish some of these supposed legendary fighters hadn't obviously just gotten their stats by tormenting people on the ground. Because that's how that happens. You don't get to 15 attack and 1 toughness without just solely attacking people who are already down and out on the ground limbless, who can't fight back. You just know that's how these characters got to where they are today. Moo. Okay. You can come, but no more drink for you. Okay, so we got another complete rookie. Oh, but Moo's got toughness, okay? She's been in a fight before. You guys are total goobers. Double? What's your deal? What's your fee? She's got a ponytail. That'll work, right? Doesn't make her a badass. That's what that means, right? Again, no toughness, though. I do believe that puts us at cap. We got one Shek and some humans. Now we just got to make it out of the swamp alive with them. That's going to be the tricky part. We are going to absolutely just be on passive and trying to stay away from everyone we can. Nope, stay together. Oh boy, spiders, spiders, spiders. What? I don't see any spiders. Man, you can't say spiders in the swamp. That's not how this works. We don't say the S word in the swamp unless they're really there. That's not cool. I'm a little tripped out by spiders, okay? Maybe you heard about the massacre of the Bugmaster. Can't be saying there's spiders, man. You give me nightmares. That's how we lost my boy Beep. We did. After that fight, we felt so dumb and defeated. I was ready to just let them go out in a blaze of glory. Curtains was saying we should do that. And it was basically Jover. We were going to start a new playthrough, tell a new story, and they just refused to die. They killed something like 13 or 14 Holy Nation scrubs, and then the Wrath of God showed up, and we took that out with a handful of recruits. We knew we couldn't give up yet. They weren't ready. They way too badass. It is worth noting that while Beep was probably one of the strongest, Hotlongs and Soto were definitely one of the strongest. Well, two of the strongest. They're incredibly capable fighters compared to like an average nobody. They're in the upper 30s for attack and defense. They've got super high toughness, like 68 toughness. She got more toughness than she does attack and defense. Hotlong's the upper 40s, excuse me. Oh no, I'm sitting here jabbering. And I'm not paying attention. We gotta run. We gotta run. We're not here to fight anybody. We gotta get you noobs equipped and trained. I'm sitting here yammering. Can't do that. Okay. But yeah, they basically, you can see it in the stream. We tried to go out in a blaze of glory, and they just wouldn't go down. Soto got knocked down, and it looked kind of bad. Hotlongs finished him off. They patched up, and then before the next attack, they had recruited enough people to hold down the turrets. They just barely broke through, but the turrets were able to finish him off. We knew we had to rebuild and keep trying. First things first. Spade, did you just hold on to that? Yep. We got our full sets of armor for the new recruits. Oh yeah, let everybody dump your stuff. You can take a nap in a minute. It's not time yet. Going to dump off any of their junk that doesn't matter. We could leave their shirts, but they don't give any stats, so there's no point. It'll just be in the way whenever they get a chain shirt. Mew needs to go get some sandals. We're going to put Hotlongs back into turret guard. And we'll keep these recruits here till we get them all geared up. Oh, everything's not going to be over here anymore. That's right. It's all going to be over here with Spade. Okay. And then where are the crossbows? They're over here. And we can leave them on medic. We had taken medic off of everybody before because they were running in front of the harpoon turrets before they had armor, trying to help heal their buddies. And it was having some really bad results. But that does remind me we need to make sure we'll get everybody completely equipped, including their crossbows. We're not going to leave base until we have our weapons. The magical thing about the katana is it's still going to be usable by brand new people, even though it's Edge 1, which you won't really find with a lot of the weapons. Did I already move that one? There we go. Go ahead and grab ammo. Okay, and that does put us at our full 30. We're not going to be able to recruit anymore. And now, right now, the best thing we could do while we're waiting for everybody's weapons to be made is to start figuring out what we really need. Spade, we're going to have you make extra sets of armor, just in case the worst happens. We're not going to be caught restarting all over again. Armor and leg plates. Logan, the ore drill's good. Steel refinery we're going to need until we have all of our blades, but I think we have enough. I think we probably have enough to make the weapons. How long is it taking you? How much steel are you spending, Shrike, when you're making these? It says 1 steel bar. Is that doesn't look like that's realistic. No, we're using multiple steel bars per weapon, so... We haven't cranked out any critical successes yet, but... Let's get rid of all of these junkers. But yeah, I think the best thing we can do is start training everyone up. And we probably could sell these, but again, our base is fully self-sufficient. we don't really have a huge need for money. We're not terribly worried about that. They're here for their food tribute. We're not really tripping off of paying that. We're okay with that. How is our food doing? Are we still making positive progress on food? Okay, those are all full. Those are mostly full. It looks like we're not quite as overkill on food production as we used to be, but we don't appear to be losing food. We do appear to be ahead of it a little bit, which is good enough. Alright, we've got all that done. But Ty, what are you trying to do? Oh, halt a fabric chest. So we've probably got enough fabric to last us the whole time, and if we find out we don't, we'll fix that. Let's make a new squad called Training. We can move Batai to that. We're going to need the steel refinery. We're going to need to continue to haul there. We obviously want hydroponic hemp. We probably don't need that anytime soon, actually. So we'll move you to training. And this is going to be something interesting. We don't have the backpacks for it. We're going to have to acquire those over time. But especially the new recruits, even doing it in their heavy armor will be worth something. Hydroponic vegetables, we gotta have food. Gotta have iron plates. Need the weaponsmith. Need cooking, need cooking. Turret guards, we're always gonna need. Oh, why are you trying to bust down my door, dude? Just ask to leave. Goodness. We're gonna turn off the Iron Fortress jobs for a second. Make sure they all have their medical kits. Spade is good. Looks like we're only going to be able to do medical kits for everybody. Won't be able to do splint kits for everyone yet, but that's okay. Turn those back on. Turret guards don't quite all have bandages. Come here, Wish. Then it looks like Skinner. Max and other Skinner. Okay. I need to make a bunch of copper storage over here. Benji, why aren't you helping? Guess he had to ditch his other resources? Oh, we don't really have iron plates. Okay. So we need to take a break on steel. If we don't take a break on steel, we're not going to have any iron plates to do our building. We've got lots of steel at least. We haven't cleaned up what we're using here, so... Shrike's made quite a few of these things. No, don't tell me you did that again. Okay. I want her to just throw that in there. And if you're gonna put the crossbow away, put it there. Then you can get back to business. Ooh, we did have a critical success as well. That's fantastic. We're going to make sure we take them off engineering before the door gets damaged and they get shoved back through. We're going to haul to this copper. And if that's going to work, I don't think it is. So I think what we have to do is dump these and dismantle them. But we don't want to waste all that copper that's been harvested, so we'll dump them first. And while, yes, obviously it's way less efficient to store them across the base, the whole point is to have them walk as far as possible with the ore. They're heavy armor, and eventually when we get it, they're big heavy backpacks. So again, we need Hotlongs to head out. Make some purchases. We need those backpacks. We gotta have them actually on sale in order to acquire them, but the sooner we get those, the sooner the real training can start. Because you generally want a certain level of strength from your people, whether we do heavy weapons or not. Because we want them to be able to carry all of their armor, their weapons, carry each other home without being encumbered would be really good. AdMag had a full-on travel shop too. We can try there. We'll try the way station first though. But these guys are already pretty encumbered, just because their strength's so low as it is. This will at least get them to where their armor isn't going to be a burden. Did have one traveler's backpack, that's good. I do suppose we could buy some iron plates. We don't have a ton of use for that money. It wouldn't hurt just to get a jump start on them. Although we did just finish up building. We built all of that storage that we needed, so we could just get the steel refinery going again. We don't want to run out of steel while we're still crafting our weapons. And ideally, we'll want to let our crafters just keep going, but getting the training backpacks is probably a higher priority. Having perfect armor isn't going to make them able to fight in it. Kind of the whole point of Hotlongs and Soto wanting to do things differently is they're going to focus on actually training their troops, getting them blooded on some weaker enemies, and making sure everybody's actually ready for a tough fight. Everyone in the group's actually ready before they go into something like that. We're also going to spend more time doing just melee and not trying to use our crossbows. We don't want to rely on that 100%. Just keep running all the way home. We'll let the turrets take care of those things for you. See? Easy. You do have a med kit, don't be silly. There you go. I'll have her ditch the resources. We do need the regular armor, or sorry, the regular iron ore just to make our armor plating. So it's not like we can start filling up backpacks with it just yet. But I think we can give Spade the all clear to take a chill pill. She's not making full masterwork yet anyway. We can just stop using material there. We'll leave that as it is. And we'll even move her to training because everybody needs to get stronger. Everybody. And that's not going to be super effective until we get those backpacks going. So where are you, Hotlongs? We will stick you back into your own squad. We'll call it logistics, I guess, because she's not out recruiting anymore. And for that Wing Wang is who we need to trade with first. Just want to give them some kind of backpack so that they can actually grab food. That seems to be the best way to make it so people won't just stall out, is to make sure they have backpacks. And then who's the other one? Doing food, Scratch. We'll have him come to you. So now they've at least got something of a backpack. We're going to try and hit Squin and AdMag both today. See if we can get the backpacks they need. And we're probably just going to go ahead and start filling them up, getting some people training, like really training. Come up here. Can you guys have the backpacks I need? Sure can. As terrible as the Holy Nation definitely has the backpacks I need, but they really don't like us anymore. I do need splint kits though. We'll stop and check for those as well. I wish you could craft backpacks. The last time I looked, I couldn't even find a mod for it. Which wouldn't do me any good right now, but it would still be nice. Okay, splint kits are good. No backpacks to speak of. Strike, how are the weapons coming? That's something I really want to keep an eye on. Slowly but surely. Of them. Okay, so we're almost halfway there. We're not necessarily waiting for Edge 2 crits the whole time. Still no more of the backpacks we need. Take your splint kits. We do want thief backpacks too, so we'll at least check and see if we can get those. One of them's not the worst. I don't want to buy chainmail when we're getting them for free. We will take these small thief backpacks. Those backpacks are really good for the people that are doing all of that work. It's a lot safer that way. I don't know why I keep mixing up this with my other solo playthrough where I've already captured the Phoenix. I keep thinking I can go to the Great Fortress and maybe something will be there. That's somewhere we probably could have recruited from if we really wanted check. Was heading to Last Stand. But that's asking a lot. Asking Hotlongs to go anywhere near that without being ready. I forgot we need to check Squin for more of the splint kits. I am excited to try out the edge weapons on everybody. We haven't had that high quality of a melee weapon on anyone but Beep this whole time. And we had a Mei 2 Ninja Blade, but their damage is so much lower than a katana that it was probably closer to an Edge 1 katana. That might be an exaggeration, but oh, come on now. We need to go to the store, not hang out in the cliff. And don't tell me you're stuck. Okay. We can buy a tiny backpack. We're out of room for splint kits. Ah, crap. I was gonna say, don't tell me they're gonna call me a thief for that. That would be upsetting. Probably don't need more med kits. We have a lot of those. We'll hold on to our money for things we have to buy. We'll just have to keep checking. We can get more thieves backpacks. It's probably worth it heading to the hub just to see if we can get those, and then we'll head home. Or, well, no, we'll drop everything off at home and then head to the hub. It's on the other side of base. There's no reason not to drop by. Okay, that'll give us more backpacks, more of the splint kits. Where did we end up short? Was it in turret guards? No, it was like all of the Iron Fortress too. Skinner, come get your splint kit. And then it looks like it's just Wish that didn't have one out of the turret guards. We're not really trying to favor them per se, we're just trying to keep it somewhat orderly. Have some idea of who still needs them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We don't have enough left for everybody, so Crumble John isn't close enough. So Crumble John and Stare Fast. Are we really full up on all the steel bars? That's kind of excellent. We'll have Spade lead the way on training. Oh yeah, never mind. That's literally not going to work till I can get rid of my iron storage. So until we're completely done crafting, that's not going to be a thing. We're just going to have to avoid making a ton of extra swords. We're going to have to skip out on making a ton of extra swords and armor. At least till we've got people trained up. We really want to get started on that training camp. Still only have 11 swords? Like, what's going on here, Shrike? How long does it take to make one sword? Oh, no. I'm a derp. She's been filling up her inventory with 2 more. We'll just leave those there. We're going to set Soto to engineering as well. That way Hotlongs can leave and the door will still get fixed. Eric and Stare Fast need to come over here and get the backpacks. That way the guys handling the food don't get soft locked trying to retrieve food. It's kind of the worst thing. They don't quite have room in their inventory for all of the various things they've been carrying, and they end up unable to grab food. And that's all they try to do is sit there and grab food when they can't, and they just stay there. So we don't have much more chilling at the base and being bored left. We can wait to do the strength training until we've gone out and fought a little bit, but ideally I want to put as many people through the training area as I can at once. That'll just speed up the process a little bit. Although groups of 4 is probably all we can really do. Otherwise, some people will end up doing it multiple times, running back and forth, while others just stand there. Now that I think about it, probably only be able to do 2, 3, maybe 4. Grab those. Head to add mag. It really does say something that Soto and Hotlong's toughness are both above 60. It might have been a big reason why they survived. They were able to toughen up faster than everyone else. I'd have to go back and look to see what everyone else's stats look like, but I can imagine they were definitely up there as far as some of the toughest. Well, they don't have the backpacks I want. But again, we're still a decent ways out before we can do that. We had to do a little free running by quite a lot after streaming earlier today, because all I was doing was sitting in base waiting to get attacked. And it didn't happen very often, and when it did, it was very uneventful. We'll probably see some of those attacks today. But I've had Wrath of God twice, and it was a total joke. So we'll have to see what goes down with that. If we're able to... if they just stop attacking, or what's going to go on here. It's strange that they just haven't sent more assaults. But really, I'm just waiting for the last of our weapons to be built. And then I can start packing up the backpacks. But as long as we still need steel and iron, I don't want to start cutting those supplies short to fill up training backpacks. If we look at these guys already, everyone but Spade's like a fresh face recruit. The lowest I'm seeing is a 5. But I do think a lot of them are just standing around. Yep, that is the problem we're running into. So, let's see. There's a copper node over there, but having this many people on it isn't going to work. That's just the way it is. So... well, I don't want to make a bunch more turrets either. That's going to take away steel materials. But we don't have anywhere for them to turret to. You know what though? Once they're walking slow enough, it actually won't be an issue. I gotta remember that too. Once they're going slow enough, it will take them so long to traverse that whole distance that they'll have time to mine more. So maybe it won't be a big deal. Excellent. We can get another backpack if we can find a room. Oof. There we go. Then we head home. Alright, we're pacing our way back. Let's see. We did end up with a bunch of backpacks. I think what we can do is have everyone who can wear a backpack get packed up with it soon. We got so much iron it might be okay to go ahead, but we may wrap up early today. If I'm just sitting around letting the base run, there's not really a lot to do. I don't have a beep I can just send out who's practically invincible and super fast to run around and cause havoc. Let's go dump these bags. I mean, I'm running around with Hotlongs to pick up bags, but that's not really anything special either. In Kenshi, if you don't want to just stupidly throw the lives of your team away, you generally have to do a bit of prep work, and we skipped that to some degree. We didn't outright skip it. I thought we had a decent chance in that situation, but I appeared to have been wrong, so that's worth considering. I just want everyone to have a full set of armor and weapons that are actually good, even for melee. The coolest thing about it when it comes to, where are you, Iron Fortress? Katanas. This Edge 1 katana is only 2 kilograms. I think the lighter ones are still 2 kilograms. There's like no strength requirement for it. So they're going to be swinging them at the speed they're able to swing weapons based on their dexterity and other factors. Not a big heavy weapon that'll take time to swing, which is what we've always had on them, but this is also a high quality melee weapon. You know, we're talking about the difference between doing 1.49 damage and Logan's 0.64. It's less than half the damage. It is less than half for the kind of crap katanas we had on half of our guys last time. Let's take everyone that's in training off of this nonsense, though. Unless they actually have a loaded up backpack. And we'll look at how practical it is to start loading them up. How capped are we? We're staying capped on iron ore. If anything, we've got too much of it, and it's hanging out here instead of being loaded into iron. So we're going to get more storage for ore. We're not worried about the material. Well, do you guys have bags? I don't think they have bags. What do you guys have? We're coming. No, they've got a bunch of iron plates, but we don't need those that bad. Oh no, bandit demands. I'm so scared. Okay. So it looks like we've got plenty of iron production to where the iron plates production is the only thing that's having trouble keeping up. We can go ahead and start getting people geared up to train. Now, one of the only bummers about the food I chose, just because it's easy to do, it doesn't fit in the same size as iron, so I've got to be a little careful how I pack them up for this training. Turn her jobs off. Because we have to leave room for copper and food, but not anything else. See, like, this will fit food or copper, but not both. I may have to ditch the splint kits on the people that are training. I just don't want them sitting around not eating and not training once we get them going. Oh look, the bandits are defeated. Oh goodness, I'm trying to have her walk over there with a backpack full of iron. Okay, so we'll put that away. Come on, Spade, you can do it. Okay, so we're loaded up. Take that off. That leaves room for copper. That leaves room for copper and food, but multiple coppers. I think we have to leave room for 2 copper and just take the loss in effectiveness. That way they don't end up starving. Yeah, see, she ate the food. Now she should start mining. She grabs 2 of those. Is she gonna try and ditch the iron? What am I saying? It really doesn't matter. The backpack should be enough. I think I've really overcomplicated this over the years, just because I wasn't thinking. I'd rather she didn't. Okay, but there's other stuff I could put in her inventory. She's not gonna ditch medical kits. So that'll leave just enough room for copper or food, not copper and food. There's 1 copper. There, so she'll at most be able to carry 2 copper, which is something. But she'll still be able to pick up food. That's efficient enough. I'd rather wait for her to mine up 1 more piece of copper than end up randomly not working or starving near to death or all the way to death. While you're training, you can have less stuff. Well, I need to turn her jobs off. That would help. That doesn't leave room for copper and food. that will just ditch her stuff. Let's see, we can have her trade Logan. Now she has room for a piece of copper. That still won't do it. I'll trade that too. So now that's a piece of copper and a piece of food. Perfect. If I could figure out, I wonder if there's a food you can make from crops. I think they all come out the wrong size. Because what you really want is a food that's smaller than a copper, like cooked meat. That would be about as good as it gets. Oh yeah, we're also going to want them to grab corpses. So, let's pick up a corpse. Take that. And drop it over here. Oh, my dogs are going off. My dogs must have heard something outside, but nothing out there. Anybody else out there dead that I can pick up? I know it seems morbid, but if we have our trainees carrying around somebody as well, they're going to be getting a much better strength gain. Moo's starting to get hungry, so I went ahead and ditched that so that she can make her way back and grab that corpse, but then get back to it. Spade is carrying everything. Moo. Okay, so now they've got room for 2 pieces of copper or a piece of copper and food. They'll grab their food and then they'll do their training. I think they're still going to get stuck, though, if they try to go get food. Yeah, there's not really a way around it. If they try to go get food, they're just going to get hosed. Got so much junk just laying around the base. Okay, so if we look at training now, they should have room for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and food, and they don't. So we've got to ditch those and the bolts. So they can have healing kits, and they can have their backpacks with 1 bag on. They're gonna mine the full 5 copper before they go for it, but this way I shouldn't run into them not eating, and I think that's more important and will avoid wasting a ton of time. So that's going to be the trick. The trainees are going to give up their ammo and everything but their healing kit. But it looks like it's about time to wrap up. I will get these guys geared up and get them training. We'll make sure everyone's equipped, and then tomorrow we will probably do some live fire exercises. Take them out into the field and see what they can do. This is Casually Dedicated. We're just doing that no real mods playthrough, seeing how the base game feels when you really put your mind to it. And I'll see you guys